Welcome back to the Quarterly Call. All content discussed here is for informational purposes and is not investment advice. Please consult with an investment professional. Okay, so we are diving deep into Mercado Libre's latest earnings call.
Yeah,
And let me tell you, things are getting
they really are.
really interesting down in Latin America.
Mercado Libre, they're often called the Amazon of Latin America, and I think for good reason. They dominate both online shopping and digital payments, and this quarter's results are pretty remarkable.
Yeah, my jaw kind of dropped when I saw that they added almost 7 million new users.
Yeah, I know.
That's more than even at the peak of the pandemic.
It is remarkable. And the thing is that this growth is happening in a market where e-commerce is still relatively young in Latin America. Only about 15% of commerce happens online right now.
So there's a lot of room to grow.
Huge potential.
So how are they pulling in so many new users? Are people just suddenly deciding to shop online? Or what's happening?
Well, it's not just happening organically. I mean, Mercado Libre is really pushing the shift from offline to online
Okay.
by creating a better online shopping experience. They're focusing on specific categories and creating features that you just can't get in a physical store.
Give me an example.
Okay, so imagine you need a new alternator for your car,
Right.
right? Instead of going to a store, you can order it on Mercado Libre, and they'll let you schedule an installation appointment with a mechanic right there.
Oh, wow.
They'll even ship the part directly to the shop. Talk about convenience.
That is very convenient.
Right.
What else? What else are they doing?
They're recognizing that speed and reliability are essential.
Yeah.
Especially if you want to compete with Amazon. They've been really rapidly expanding their network of fulfillment centers, especially in Brazil. Just this quarter, they added 5 new centers,
Wow.
and they're not stopping there.
That's got to be expensive.
It is. I
Yeah.
mean, building out these fulfillment centers does put pressure on their short-term profits.
Mhm.
But Mercado Libre is thinking long-term. They are strategically investing in the infrastructure that will ultimately give them an edge over the competition.
So they're playing the long game.
They are.
That's a bold move.
It is bold.
Let's switch gears a little bit and talk about Mercado Pago,
Yeah.
their digital payments platform. This is where things get really interesting. Their fintech business has been growing like crazy, but what's driving that growth?
So their monthly active users are up 35%, which is impressive on its own.
Yeah.
But what's even more telling is the rise in power users. So these are people who use Mercado Pago weekly or even more often.
Wow.
These aren't just casual users. They're making Mercado Pago their primary...
Their go-to financial tool.
Wow, so they're becoming people's primary financial platform.
Exactly.
That's a huge shift.
It is a huge shift.
What's driving that?
A big factor here is their credit card. They issued 1.5 million new cards this quarter alone, and the transaction volume on those cards has exploded 166% year-over-year growth. Wow. That's insane. So it seems like everyone in Latin America is jumping on the Mercado Libre credit card bandwagon. Why are they so successful with this? What are they doing that's different?
It's all part of a larger strategy. Mercado Libre is betting big on credit, and their overall credit portfolio has grown by 77% year over year
Huge.
to reach a staggering $6 billion.
Wow.
Now, this does put pressure on short-term profits because they need to set aside funds for potential losses, but they're clearly confident that this investment in credit will pay off in the long run by creating user loyalty and just encouraging more people to use their platform for everything.
So they're taking a risk, but it seems to be working.
It does.
It's almost like they're saying, come for the online shopping, stay for the financial services.
That's a great way to put it. They're building an ecosystem where users can shop, pay, borrow, and even manage their businesses, all within the Mercado Libre platform.
I was going to ask about businesses. I know that they are also processing more payments for other companies. How's that side of their business performing?
They're seeing strong growth there too, particularly in Brazil and Mexico.
Okay.
And to really stand out, they're rolling out new merchant software that integrates with their point-of-sale systems and their marketplace.
So they're trying to make it easy for businesses to manage everything in one place.
Exactly. They offer things like inventory management, catalog creation features that help businesses streamline their operations and just sell more effectively.
Smart.
It's another example of them really thinking holistically about user experience, both for shoppers and businesses.
So what about their Melimas loyalty program? I know they recently restructured it.
They did. There's now a cheaper tier with core benefits and a premium tier that even includes perks like access to Disney+.
Oh, wow.
Early adoption looks good, but it's still early to tell what the full impact will be.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it sounds like they're trying to appeal to a wider range of users with these different tiers.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it ties back into that idea of creating a complete ecosystem that really meets everybody's needs.
Yeah.
And remember how we were talking about Argentina? I mean,
Yeah.
they're facing some economic headwinds.
It's amazing that even with those challenges, Mercado Libre is seeing a resurgence in Argentina.
Really?
Both their commerce and fintech businesses are growing strongly there, which suggests that their model is pretty resilient and that maybe economic conditions in Argentina are starting to improve.
That's really good to hear.
Yeah,
It's encouraging to see them doing well in a tough environment.
it really speaks to their ability to adapt and thrive in a dynamic market. They're in it for the long haul in Latin America, and they're really helping shape the future of online commerce and fintech there.
This kind of brings me to a question for you, dear listener. Do you think that this strategy of sacrificing short-term profit for long-term dominance will work? Will Mercado Libre's all-encompassing ecosystem become the go-to destination for everything in Latin America?
I think it's a bold bet. Only time will tell.
Yeah.
But their Q3 results definitely show that they're on a really exciting trajectory.
They're a company to watch.
Yeah.
Their story's far from over. I have a feeling the next chapter is going to be even more interesting.
I agree. Their journey is a case study in disruption, innovation, and the relentless pursuit of growth.
Yeah.
It's inspiring to see a company pushing boundaries and challenging the status quo like that.
I agree. They're really changing the game down there.
They are. It's inspiring to see how they're changing the game.
Yeah.
They're not just replicating what works elsewhere. They're actually innovating to meet the specific needs and opportunities of the Latin American market.
It's really amazing to see the impact they're having,
I know.
especially when it comes to financial inclusion.
Yes.
They're reaching people who've traditionally been excluded from the formal financial system,
Absolutely.
giving them access to credit and financial tools they may not have had before.
Yeah. Traditional banks in Latin America have often been either inaccessible or just way too expensive for many people.
Right.
So Mercado Libre is bridging that gap and making financial services more inclusive.
And they're doing it in a really smart way, too.
I agree.
It seems like their approach is incredibly data-driven.
It is.
So they're not just giving out loans to anyone.
Yeah.
They're being very careful about who they lend to.
They're constantly refining their risk models, using all the data they collect across their platform,
Okay.
from shopping habits to payment history, to make smarter lending decisions.
That's so important.
It is, especially given how quickly their credit portfolio is growing.
Yeah, that makes sense. It sounds like they're finding a balance
Yeah.
between promoting financial inclusion and managing risk responsibly.
Absolutely.
And their success with the credit card in Brazil,
Yeah.
where credit card penetration is already pretty high,
Yeah.
it kind of gives them a blueprint for expanding into other markets like Mexico, where credit card usage is still relatively low.
Right. I mean, it's like they're setting the stage for a financial revolution across the whole region.
Yeah, exactly.
And this data-driven approach, it's not just for their credit business.
No.
It also fuels their advertising platform.
Oh, okay.
They can use these insights from user behavior to deliver really targeted and effective ads, which is a big reason why their ad revenue is just going through the roof.
So they're not just relying on transaction fees for revenue.
Nope.
They've got multiple income streams.
Multiple revenue streams, each with its own growth potential. It makes their business model a lot more resilient.
Yeah, I see that.
And, even with all these big investments and fulfillment centers and technology, they're still laser focused on improving their operational efficiency and driving down costs.
So they're being smart about it.
Yeah, they're not just going for growth's sake.
Yeah.
They are building a sustainable and profitable business for the long term.
That's really refreshing to see.
It is.
Because a lot of companies just focus on the short-term gains.
Yeah, and the financial world is noticing this.
Ah,
Fitch recently upgraded Mercado Libre's credit rating to investment grade, which is a huge vote of confidence in their financial strength.
oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's good.
that's a big deal.
It's amazing to see how far they've come.
It is.
I mean, Mercado Libre is not just another e-commerce company.
I agree.
They're a force to be reckoned with.
They are a force to be reckoned with.
What do you think stands out to you the most about their journey so far?
I think what's most impressive is that they're not just following trends, they're setting them. They're pushing the boundaries of what's possible in these industries. They're not afraid to take risks, and they're not afraid to experiment.
And it seems like they're really driven by a vision of a future where technology is empowering individuals and businesses throughout Latin America.
Exactly. Their impact goes far beyond just the business realm.
I think that's such an important point.
Yeah.
Their success is not just about profits.
No.
It's about the well-being of the whole region.
Right, exactly. By improving access to goods and services and just by making commerce more efficient, they are helping raise the standard of living for everybody.
It's like they're not just building a company.
No,
They're building a better future.
they are. It's inspiring to see a company that's working with such a strong sense of purpose.
I agree. It's kind of a reminder that we often focus on the numbers.
Yeah.
But the real measure of success
Yeah.
is the positive impact a company has on the world.
Well said.
And their commitment to Latin America is evident in everything they do.
It is. From their localized fulfillment strategies to their commitment to creating financial products that work for people who haven't had access to banking before, they're really demonstrating that understanding the nuances of a market is crucial to unlocking its potential.
They're not just imposing a pre-existing model.
Right. They are adapting and innovating to fit the unique needs of the region.
And it's clearly working. Their success is a testament to the power of long-term thinking.
Absolutely. They're not just looking for quick wins. They're building the foundation for sustainable growth. They're investing in the infrastructure, the technology, the people that are going to drive their business forward for years to come.
It's so refreshing to see.
It is.
It's such a contrast to what we see in a lot of companies.
Yeah. Mercado Libre is showing us how powerful patience can be and that understanding that building something truly meaningful takes time and dedication.
So their Q3 earnings are just a snapshot in time.
Yeah.
But their vision goes way beyond just these numbers.
They're shaping the future of commerce and finance in Latin America, and their impact is going to be felt for generations.
So for our listeners, the takeaway here isn't just about Mercado Libre's financial performance.
No, it's about understanding how powerful purpose-driven business can be, the importance of really understanding your market, and the value of a long-term vision.
It's about seeing the potential for positive change.
Everywhere.
And being inspired to think differently, to challenge assumptions.
And to really make an impact.
It's amazing how they've become such a part of Latin American society.
Yeah, they're not just a company. They're part of the economic and social infrastructure.
Yeah, and it's not just about their size.
Right.
It's the way they approach things.
I agree.
That's really remarkable.
Yeah, they're showing that success isn't just about profits. It's about understanding the needs of the market and finding new ways to meet them.
And their focus on localization.
Yes.
It's really impressive. I think other companies could learn a lot from that.
Absolutely. Instead of trying to force a one-size-fits-all approach, they're adapting. And they're evolving their strategies to fit each country.
They're playing the long game, that's for sure.
They are.
All their investments, the infrastructure, the technology, everything.
Yeah.
It's all about building a sustainable business.
Long term.
Yeah, that can last for years.
I agree.
And again, it's so refreshing to see that.
It is.
Because a lot of companies are just so focused on the short term.
Right. Exactly. They're showing that patience and a long-term vision are really valuable.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
what's the one thing you want listeners to take away from Mercado Libre's story?
I want them to see that you can do good and do well at the same time.
Okay.
That business can be a force for good.
Yeah.
It can drive change and make the future better.
It's a good reminder that innovation isn't always about the newest technology.
Right.
It's about solving real-world problems
Yeah.
and actually making a difference in people's lives.
Exactly. Mercado Libre is a great example of how purpose-driven business can create a ripple effect.
Yeah.
Not just in the economy, but in society as a whole.
They're not just chasing profits.
Right.
They're actively building a better future for Latin America.
They are.
And it's really inspiring to see.
It really sets a new standard for what it means to be a successful company today.
Their journey's not over.
Not even close. I can't wait to see what they do next.
Thank you so much for listening to the Quarterly Call. If you enjoyed it, make sure to rate and follow our show. Until next time, stay curious and stay informed.